ఒకసారి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసి ట్రై చేస్తాను.
నేను చెప్తాను ఆఫ్టర్ కంప్లీషన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ క్లాస్. ఓకే.
ఓకే ఓకే సార్.
Good morning, guys. So in previous class, I have explained what are the topics I am going to be covered in this course. The topics are: first one is nothing but mule flows, and second one is transformation, and third one is APIs creation, and fourth one is M-unit testing, and fifth one is error handling, and sixth one is security policies, and finally seventh one is deployment. So we can divide the topics into the seven categories. So here mule flows is nothing but a combination of palace. Inside this mule flows topic, we are going to be know about what is meant by flow and how can we configure the palace, and what is meant by palette and the difference between palette and module. And also we are going to be discussing about mule message structure, and we are going to be discuss how to deploy our project in local machine. So we run our project, how whatever the project we are going to be created, we can run and deploy in our local machine. And how to deploy in local machine we are going to be see, and how can we write a test cases for this mule flows we are going to be seeing this mule flows topic. And second one is transformation. So each technology they have own architecture. In the same way, in order to do the transformation, here we are going to be create a language called data view language. By using this language, we are going to be convert the data from one language into another language. And here it is a syntactical based language. By using syntaxes, we are going to be convert the data from one language into another language. And at the time of data view, and we are going to be do how can we convert the data from one language to another language. Each and everything we are going to be discuss at the time of transformation. And third one is nothing but API creation. So API is nothing but services. Once we create the services, we can reuse for multiple applications. So in order to create API, we are using a language called raml language. So but it is a structured based language. So how can we create a structure for API, and how it is going to be working, each and everything we are going to be discussed at the time of API creation. So once we created one single raml, it is similar for remaining ramls also. So we can also by heart the raml also, we don't bother about those things. And fourth one is ML testing. So after creating the flows or after creating the project, we are going to be write a test cases. So here each and everything we are going to be create mule flows. So how can we write a test cases on flows, and what are the palettes we are going to be using, how we are going to be writing test cases, each and everything we are going to be discuss at the time of unit testing. And error handling is, so here error handling is nothing but, so by default some of the error message is going to be generated by system. So as a system we cannot understand whatever the error message is has generated by the system, we cannot understand by the end user, those who are using that application. For this reason, in order to understand user understandable format, we are going to be uses some of the palette in order to handle that error. And what are the palettes we are going to be using, how can we handle that error, each and everything we are going to discuss at the time of error handling concept. And security policies. So in the market, what are the latest security policies are there, how can we apply those security policies, whatever the application I have created inside this raml. So I am going to apply those security policies to our application. And how can we apply those security policies, what are the configurations we are going to be provided, and how can we add to security policies, each and everything we are going to discuss at the security policies. And finally deployment. So MuleSoft provides we can deploy our project in on-premises, cloud hub, and hybrid mode. Most of the companies they are going to be deploy their project in cloud hub. Here we are going to be see how to deploy our project in cloud hub, and each and everything we are going to discuss at the time of deployment process. So in order to working on all these topics, we require software. What are the softwares we require means? So first one is Anypoint Studio. So Anypoint Studio is a software. Present version of Anypoint Studio is a 7.14, and there is a runtime version is there. The runtime version is like a server. There is a inbuilt server is there. Present runtime version server is 4.4 is the latest runtime engine. So this is a software. Normally, if you want to install any software, there is a when we click on .exe file, there is a nest mechanism is there. So here there is no nest mechanism. So whenever we are going to be download the software, it generates a RAR file. Just to extract a RAR file, and inside this there is a .exe file is there. Just to double click on .exe file, it is going to be open very easy. And second one is Anypoint platform. Anypoint platform is a cloud-based web application. There is no softwares are there. So like our Gmail account, we have to create an account inside Anypoint platform. So it is a cloud-based web application. For this reason, it is very expensive. For this reason, they are providing 1 month of trial pack. After completing of 1 month of trial pack, it is going to be open, and we are not do any sort of modification inside any point platform. So whatever the application we have created, we can see it. So these are the two softwares. First one is Anypoint Studio, and second one is Anypoint Platform Account. So inside these two topics, we are going to be cover what are the topics it means. So inside Anypoint Studio, we are going to be creating mule flows, and we are doing transformation, and we are writing unit classes, and we are providing error handling concept. These are the topics we are going to be covering inside Anypoint Studio. And inside Anypoint platform, so we can create APIs, and we can apply security policies to our application, and we can deploy our project in cloud. These are the topics we are going to be covering inside Anypoint platform. Along these two softwares, we require another software, that is a Postman. So why do we use Postman means whatever the applications we are going to be created, it is going to be tested by using Postman app. And these are the how can we download the Anypoint Studio, and how can we extract, and how can we run each and everything we have seen in a previous session, and how can we create an account inside Anypoint platform also we have seen, and how can we download Postman. So these are the all the softwares we require in order to work on MuleSoft. So up to that, I have explained in a previous session. Is there any doubts regarding the previous session? బాలాజీ
No,
గారు.
sir.
ఓకే. సో మీకేమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నా, ఏదైనా ఇంగ్లీష్లో అర్థం కాకపోయినా ఇమీడియట్గా అడగండి. నేను తెలుగులో కూడా చెప్తాను. నాకు ఇట్ నాట్ ఏ ప్రాబ్లం. ఓకే.
Okay.
సో మీకు ఎక్కడ డౌట్ అడిగినా నేను క్లారిఫై చేసిన తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ కంటిన్యూ చేద్దాం. ఓకే. సో ఇనీషియల్ స్టేజ్లో ఏంటంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బి అండర్స్టాండ్ ద బిహేవియర్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టూడియో కానీ ఏదైనా అప్లికేషన్ గురించి కానీ జాగ్రత్తగా తెలుసుకోవాలి. ఆ బేసిక్స్ అనేది ఎంత గట్టిగా ఉంటే నెక్స్ట్ మీరు ఎంత డెవలప్మెంట్ చేసినా బేసిక్స్ నుంచే డెవలప్మెంట్ చేస్తారు. ఓకే. సో మీకు ఏ డౌట్ వచ్చినా ఇమీడియట్గా అడగండి, రెక్టిఫై చేసుకోండి. ఓకే. సో నెక్స్ట్ టుడే వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బి సీ అబౌట్ ఎనీ పాయింట్ స్టూడియో బిహేవియర్. సో ఎడిటర్ బిహేవియర్. ఇక్కడ here we have some of the common terminology is there. So in order to talk with the editor behavior, there are some of the names are there. Based on this, we are going to be spell in the project. So we have to know the editor behavior. Then only so we can easily understand with the editor activities also. So first, I am going to be open my application. So it is located in eTrend, and here I have downloaded 7.14. This is not 12, and inside the softwares I have placed a 7.14. This is our where Anypoint Studio. This one. So I have extracted the file. There is a .exe studio icon is there. Just to double click on studio icon, So it is going to be open. So here we have to provide the workspace. So based on the workspace, whatever the applications or whatever the projects we are going to be created, it is going to be stored inside that workspace. So click on. So our workspace is C drive, users, Lenovo. Inside this, there is Anypoint Studio 14. Inside this, I have created a workspace, Sunil workspace. So if you want to see, so go to C drive, users. This is the users and Lenovo. And inside this, we have Anypoint Studio 14. And inside this, we have a workspace. What are the workspace we have created? There is a folder is going to be open. Inside this, whatever the projects we are going to be created, these can be stored inside this different files. Okay. So here I am going to be launch the workspace. So click on. So whenever we are going to be launch this, it takes time in order to open the application because there are so many jar files are there. These jar files are compressed into. So for this reason, in order to load all jar files, it takes time. Wait, it is called. And also we have a prerequisites in order to work the Anypoint Studio. So we have 64-bit laptop is there and at least 8 GB RAM we require in order to work the Anypoint Studio. So 4 GB unna work aidi. So in order to access your application very speed, so we have to maintain at least 8 GB RAM. So this will give a uh, more easy to access Anypoint Studio. So for this Anypoint Studio, we require these parameters. At least 8 GB RAM and or 4 GB RAM we have to maintain. So 8 GB RAM is need because it access very smoothly. So because in order to access that application, there are so many jar files are there. So in order to access that application very quickly, we have to maintain at least 8 GB of RAM and 64-bit laptop is required. So presently, what are the laptops we are using? Everything is a 64-bit laptop. So previously, it is working on 32-bit. Whenever it is going to be converted into the 7, it is going to be working on 64-bit laptop. Okay, so it has open like this. So whenever it is going to be open, so if you want to create a new project, so how we can create a new project means go to file and click on new, and there is a mule project is there. Click on mule project. So here we have to provide the name. So here I am providing sample one. So whenever we are going to be click sample one, wait. So click on finish. So whenever we are going to be create a project, it automatically generates whatever the name we are going to be apply. For that name, it is going to be generate a project like a sample one. So when we expand this, there is a automated folder structure is available. So this automated folder structure is called as package explorer. Some people call it as project explorer. This is called middle way. So inside middle, this one called as canvas. This is called palace session. So whatever the flows we are going to be created, we can create it inside this canvas. So we can drag and drop the palace. These are called palace. So we can drag and drop the palace. So sometimes for our project, we have to drag at least 40 to 50 pairs. Depending upon project, we have to drag and drop the pairs. So we don't know how many pairs are required for the project. So depending upon requirement, we have to drag and drop and it is going to be placed inside this canvas. And right side, this is called palaces. Okay. So here there are different folders are there. So when we are going to be creating new project, so each folder has its own behavior. So depending upon requirement, we are going to be utilize these folders. So whenever we are going to be created a new project, it is going to be generate a icon. This is called studio icon. So when we expand this, there are different types of folders are available. The first folder name is src slash main slash mule, and inside this we have seen flows. So why do we use this folder means when we expand this, there is a .xml file is there. So with the name of our project. So why it is going to be created a .xml file means, so whatever the flows we are going to be created inside this project, these flows can be stored inside this file. So whatever the flows we are going to be created, each and everything, it is going to be stored inside this file. మనం క్రియేట్ చేసే ఫ్లోస్ అన్ని ఈ ఫైల్లోనే స్టోరేజ్ అవుతాయి. Okay. And second folder is, and here we are get an interview question. So in which folder we are going to be getting a flows, which folder is going to be supported in order to create mule flows. So for creating mule flows, src slash main mule flows folder is going to be used in order to create flows inside our project. And second folder is src slash main slash java folder. So why it is used? So I have said that we don't require any prerequisites to learn any other languages or any other thing. So why it is going to be provided a src slash main java folder means, before introduction of data view language, people are uses Java language in order to convert the data from one language into another language. So here they have already developed data view language. So if you are good at data view expression, we don't require to learn Java. Even I don't know Java, I don't have a good knowledge on Java, but I have good knowledge on data view expression. So don't require any prerequisites to learn Java also. So if you have a knowledge and if you want to implement some of the Java applications, so we can write Java inside this main src slash main Java. And third folder is src slash main resource folder. So why do we use src slash main resource folder? When we expand this, we can see API. So in order to implement APIs, which folder is going to be supported means src/main resource folder. So if you want to implement any other application inside this project, this folder is going to be supported. And also at the time of project, they are going to be provided some of the files. So those files are looking like this one, sample contacts. So these type of files, they will provided at the time of project development. So instead of storing these files in your local machine, so whatever the files is going to be used for the development purpose, we can copy and we can store it inside your project also. We can paste it here also. Sample.json. If we double click on this, so it is going to be open like this. So for the project development, we are going to be using some of the common files. Those common files can be stored inside src main resource folder, and also inside this folder, whatever the data we are going to be stored, it is going to be used for development of our project. For the developmenting purpose, we are going to be use any of the files inside src/main resource folder. And next folder is src/test/java folder. So why do we use this folder means whatever the application we are going to be created in a Java folder, it is going to be tested by using this folder src/test/java folder. And here src/test resources and one src/test mnit. So why do we use this src/test mnit folder means whatever the flows we are going to be created here, it is going to be tested writing a test cases inside src/mnit folder, test mnit folder. And here there are two folders are there, src/test resource folder and src/main resource folder. So why do we use these two folders here? What is the differences between src main resource folder and src test resource folder? So the main differences between src main resource folder and src test resource folder. So whatever the files we are going to be stored inside src main resource folder, these files we are going to be used for the developmenting of our project. So whatever the files we are going to be stored in src test resource folder, these files can be used while writing a test cases inside our project. మీరు టెస్ట్ కేసెస్ రాయడానికి ఏదైనా శాంపిల్ ఫైల్స్ ఇస్తే ఇక్కడ ప్లేస్ చేస్తే వాటిని టెస్ట్ రిసోర్స్ ఫోల్డర్ కింద యూజ్ చేస్తారు. ఎంబెడెడ్ క్లాస్ డెవలప్మెంటింగ్ పర్పస్ కోసం యూజ్ చేయాలంటే ఈ ఫోల్డర్ యూజ్ చేస్తారు. దిస్ ఇస్ ద డిఫరెన్సెస్ బిట్వీన్ src main resource folder and src test resource folder. And I have already explained there are so many jar files are available. Those are compressed into anypointstudio. So here we have seen JRE means JDK18. So Java version. So already so many jar files are there. So when we download any of the jar, it occupies at least 200 to 300 MB. So those are all compressed into the anypointstudio. For this reason, in order to operate this application, it takes time. In order to load all the jar files into our anypointstudio, it takes time. So when we see the so many applications are compressed and it is going to be stored into the jar files here. And there is a server, mule server 4.4.0. EE means enterprise edition. So normally if you created any application inside Java, if you want to write a test cases, if you want to deploy our project, so we have to attach a server to that application. So we don't require any server to attach this application. There is a inbuilt server is there. That server is mule server 4.4.0. So whatever the applications we are going to be created here, so we can deploy our project inside this server and we can write a test. We can test that application. So we can deploy into local application by using mule server 4.4.0. EE means enterprise edition. So coming to downside. So there is pom.xml. So pom.xml means project object model. So why do we use pom.xml means when we want to deploy our project. So when we want to deploy our project in hybrid model or cloud deployment, so this pom.xml file is going to be used. This is the dependency files, whatever the applications we are going to be dragged, whatever the palettes we are going to be dragged inside canvas, whatever the dependencies is there, each and everything is going to be stored inside this pom.xml file. This is going to be used whenever we are going to be deploy our project in cloud hub or hybrid cloud. This pom.xml file is going to be used. This is about folder structures. If you have any doubts about the folder structures, let me know. So మీకు ఏం డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయండి ఈ ఫోల్డర్ స్ట్రక్చర్? హలో బాలాజీ అండ్ శివ. బాలాజీ, do you have any doubts? సో ఈ ఫోల్డర్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ మీకు అర్థమైతేనే మనం ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేస్తామో, ఏ ఫోల్డర్ యూజ్ చేయాలనేది మీకు ఐడియా ఉంది. Do you have any doubts?
Yes, sir. Understand, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So next, coming to right side here, this is called palette session. సో ఇక్కడ సర్చ్ ఇన్ ప్యాలెట్, మీకు మీ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ తగ్గట్లు ఏదైనా ప్యాలెట్ కావాలంటే, సో ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరిఫైడ్ వీ కెన్ సర్చ్ హియర్. అండ్ హియర్ సర్చ్ ఇన్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్. వై డు we యూజ్ సర్చ్ ఇన్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్? Where do we see this symbol? Anyone know? So while creating anypoint platform account, so MuleSoft.com, login anypoint platform. Okay, click on sign in. So not no. So here there is a exchange tab is there. The same symbol is also available inside here, inside anypoint. Why does it place it here? Means, so ఎందుకు ప్లేస్ చేశానంటే, సో I have explained at the time of explaining this exchange tab, this anypoint platform. So there are so many connectors. It was developed by MuleSoft company. If you want to utilize these connectors into your anypoint studio, we can download these connectors from exchange tab. So here inside exchange we have provided by MuleSoft is there. Here so many connectors are there. So depending upon requirement, we have to choose corresponding connector. We have to download that connector and it is going to be import that connector into the anypoint studio. So instead of coming here and downloading here, so we can also download it. We can also provide it that connector from here also. So let me check. So in our project, I want to connect it with SAP HANA system. So if you check SAP, whether it is available, is there any palettes are coming? Inside palette session, have you seen any palettes? There is no palettes are available. But I want to connect it with the SAP. If you want to check database related palettes are coming. If you want to check file related palettes are coming. But if you can check SAP, there is no palettes are coming. What is the reason? There is no connector. SAP related connector is not available inside our anypoint studio. So if you want to insert SAP HANA related connector into your anypoint studio, normally, so you have to go to Exchange tab inside anypoint platform and check SAP HANA. There are so many connectors. So depending upon requirement, we have to choose corresponding connector and it is going to be downloaded here, and it is going to be imported into your Anypoint. Instead of coming Anypoint platform and download the software, so here we have inside there is a search in access tab. Here inside search in access tab, so we have to provide our username and we have to provide our login details. Okay, so our username is, what is the username of Anypoint Studio? Swhizz C2NA, and we have to provide the password. So here password is, so here we have to log in with our credentials of Anypoint platform. Swhizz storage C2N A, sorry, tab S red 123 download. Click on sign in. Our credentials are not valid. Once I have to log out, sign out. Second. MuleSoft. So here I am going to click on login. Swhizz CDNA. So Swhizz at the rate 123. Okay. So here we have to provide those details. Swhizz at the rate 123. So after providing this, we are going to be logging into Anypoint platform account. Here we have to search which connector we are going to be required to our project development. So here I have typed SAP here. Automatically SAP related connectors are going to be appear here. So we can check it which connector we are going to be placed inside your project. Corresponding connector we have to choose and click on add and click on finish. Automatically, whatever the connector we are going to be selected, those connector is going to be appear into your parish session. We can drag the connector and we can configure the connector. So the connector is added to our Anypoint Studio. So here the connector is there. Previously, I have checked the SAP. There is no connector is available. Now it is going to appear like this. So if any connector are not available inside Anypoint Studio, we can download the software. We can create an account inside Anypoint platform, inside search in Exchange, and we can collect the connector from this Anypoint platform access. So by default, some of the connectors they are going to be provided by Anypoint Studio. If those connectors are not available inside Anypoint Studio, we are going to be collect the connector from search in Exchange tab inside Anypoint Studio. And second, add modules. So why do we use add modules? And here I have said that it is a palette. What is the difference between module and palette? So when we click on this add module, so depending upon our requirement, so I have to talk with database module. So every time I have to go and check the connector. So just to drag database connector and place it inside right path, sorry, left path, it automatically added to our package session. So from here onwards, we are going to color the corresponding connectors. So here, what is the difference between module and parent? So when we go to folder, so what are the operations we are going to be performing on this file? Just right click on this file. What are the actions we are going to be performing? Show more options. Here, inside this file, we are going to be performing cut the file and copy the file and delete the file and rename the file. So what are the actions we are going to be performing on file? The same actions we are going to be performing by using anypointstudio by automation. So how it is going to be performed? So when we click on this file connector, so when we check file, so this is a file module. So whatever the actions we are going to be performing on file module, like copy, we are going to be copy the file, we are going to be delete the file, we are going to be move means cut, we are going to be read a file, and we are going to be rename a file, and we are going to be write a file. So whatever the operations we are going to be performing on file, for each operation they are going to be created a one palette. So the whole whatever the operations we are going to be performing on file, it is going to be stored inside a file module. Module is nothing but group of actions or group of operations performing on corresponding connector. Inside this, we have different types of operations. For each operation, they are going to be provided one of the parent. For each operation, they are providing one of the parent. This is the differences between module and parent. Module is nothing but group of parents performing on corresponding connector or corresponding module. This is the difference between module and parent. And third one is parents. So in our project, we are mostly working on database select operation and database insert operation. So instead of going to be database multiple times, whatever the operations we are going to be performing here, so here just right click on corresponding operation and click on add to favorites. Those palette is going to be appeared here except so which is belonging to database module. And so another operator is insert operation. So here we are going to click on right click on this operation, click to add to favorites, it is going to be appear. So whatever the common actions we are going to be performing regularly using palace, it is going to be stored inside favorite session. So instead of going to be corresponding module regular times, so we can color that palace inside a favorite session. And next one is core module. So why do we use core module means? So in our project, we have a requirement with the file module. We can collect file palettes. If we have requirement with the database palette, we are going to be talking with the database palette. So not only one product. So for our requirement of our project, we are going to be talking with corresponding modules or corresponding palettes. So not only one project, the whole project, if you want to see any other projects, there are some of the commonly used palettes are there. Those commonly used palettes are coming to core module. Not only one project అంటే మీరు ఏ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో తీసుకున్నా కామన్ గా వాడే ప్రతి ఒక్క ప్యాలెట్ ని కోర్ మాడ్యూల్ కింద డిఫైన్ చేస్తారు. మీకు ఏ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో అయినా కామన్ గా వీటిలో డిఫైన్ చేసిన ప్యాలెట్స్ అనేది వాడతారు. So whatever the common elements or common palettes we are going to be used, those can be prescribed in a core module. This is about palette session. ఇక్కడ వరకు ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయండి? ప్యాలెస్ అంటే ఏంటి, సర్చ్ ఇన్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ నుంచి ఎలా తెచ్చుకుంటాం, మాడ్యూల్స్ ఎలాగ యాడ్ చేస్తాం, మాడ్యూల్ కి అండ్ ప్యాలెట్ కి మధ్య డిఫరెన్సెస్, ఫేవరెట్స్, కోర్ మాడ్యూల్ ఉన్న డిఫరెన్సెస్, ఇవన్నీ ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయి? మీకు కొంచెం కొత్తగా అనిపించింది స్టార్టింగ్ కాబట్టి ఎందుకంటే ఈ బిహేవియర్ అర్థం అవ్వాలి, అలాగే టర్మినాలజీ అర్థం అవ్వాలి. సో ఒక 2-3 సెషన్స్ అయితే ఏంటంటే ఆ టర్మినాలజీ మీకు అర్థమైంది. ఓకే, ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే అడగండి ముందు. బాలాజీ. ఇంగ్లీష్ అర్థమవుతుందండి? కంఫర్టబుల్ గానే ఉన్నారా? తెలుగులో చెప్పమంటారా? శివ.
హలో,
చెప్పండి శివ గారు.
అదే శివ అన్నారు.
బాలాజీ.
సార్ మీరు ఈ వాయిస్ కొంచెం క్లారిటీగా లేదు.
మా వాయిస్ క్లారిటీగా లేదు.
కొంచెం డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉంది.
ఇప్పుడు కూడా అంతా ఉందా? ఎవరు లేరు రూమ్ లో, నేను ఒక్కడనే ఉన్నా. ఇప్పుడు కూడా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ గానే ఉందా బాలాజీ?
సార్
డిస్టర్బెన్స్ గానే ఉంది ఇప్పుడు నేను మాట్లాడడం మాట క్లారిటీగా కనబడట్లేదా?
ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఫ్యూ మినిట్స్ నుంచి వినిపించట్లేదు.
ఫ్యూ మినిట్స్ నుంచి కనబడట్లేదా? శివ. హలో.
ఫైన్ సార్, ఫైన్.
హలో,
మీకు కనపడుతుందండి?
ఇప్పుడు ఓకే సార్.
ఇందాక కనపడలేదా?
అంటే ఇందాక కొంచెం డిఫరెన్స్ ఉండేది, కొంచెం ఉంది సార్. అదే
సో ఎక్కడ మిస్ అర్థమైందా? ఎక్కడ డౌట్ వచ్చింది మీకు చెప్పండి ఒకసారి.
లేదు సార్, ఇది లేదు. అంటే కొంచెం వాయిస్ అనేది కొంచెం బ్రేక్ అయినట్టు అయింది అంటే కొంచెం.
బాలాజీ.
సార్ నో ఫైన్ సార్.
ఫైన్. ఓకే, ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా చెప్పినంత వరకు ఈ ప్యాలెస్ మీద కానీ మాడ్యూల్ మీద కానీ?
ఇప్పుడు ఎవరు చెప్పింది అర్థమైంది.
ఓకే. ఓకే, సో okay, so here if you want to create any other project, the first and foremost palette we are going to be used is a flow palette. The flow palette is belonging to core module. So when we drag a flow palette here, it is divided into 3 categories. First one is source, and second one is process, and third one is error handling. So what is meant by source, and what is meant by process, and what is meant by error handling? Here, source is nothing but in which system we are going to be getting the information, that is called source. Process is nothing but, so whatever the changes we are going to be applying after receiving the data from the source, so we are applying the changes inside a process, and we are going to be sending the data to another connector inside this process. And third one is nothing but error handling. So here inside this error handling, I have explained this. So whenever we are getting a system generated error messages, these system generated error messages can be handled, and we are going to be represented our customized error messages. So by using this error handling concept, we are going to be applying these scenarios. This flow palette is belonging to the core module, and also if you check error handling, so here also some of the palettes is going to be coming. By using palettes, we are going to be placed inside error handling, and whatever the errors is coming inside this flow, it is going to be handling those errors inside this error handling concept. So whenever we are going to be start any other project, the first and foremost palette we are going to be use a flow palette. It is divided into 3 categories: source, process, and error handling. Source is nothing but in which system we are going to be getting the information. Process is nothing but a business logic, and error handling is nothing but whatever the error is going to be appear inside this flow. These errors is going to be handled inside this error handling concept. So this is the palette we are going to be using. So I will explain what are the palettes is going to be used, and I can give a sample file, sample project I am going to be created in tomorrow's session, and I will explain briefly about this source, what is meant by source, and what is meant by process, each and everything in tomorrow's session. So try to install the software once, and if we have any errors, we are going to be we are going to be clarify those doors in tomorrow's session. So about the anypointstudio editor. Okay. So ఈ ఫ్లో అనేది ఫస్ట్ అండ్ ఫార్మోస్ట్ ప్యాలెట్. అంటే మీరు ఏ ప్రాజెక్ట్ స్టార్ట్ చేసినా ఫస్ట్ యూజ్ చేసే ప్యాలెట్ ఇది ఫ్లో ప్యాలెట్. అండ్ బాలాజీ, నీకు అప్లికేషన్ ఓపెన్ అవ్వలేదు అన్నావు కదా?
అవును సార్.
నీకు అల్ట్రా వ్యూవర్ కానీ ఎనీ టెస్ట్ కానీ ఉంటే ఆ నెంబర్ నాకు పంపిస్తే నీ సిస్టమ్ నేను హ్యాండ్ ఆఫ్ చేసుకొని వస్తాను. ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా నీకు? ఒకసారి నువ్వు కూడా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయి. ఏమైనా మీకు అప్లికేషన్ కాకపోతే నాకు ఒకసారి రేపు సెషన్లో ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ రెక్టిఫై చేస్తాను. ఓకే. అండ్ బాలాజీ, మీరు నాకు ఎనీ టెస్ట్ కానీ అల్ట్రా వ్యూవర్ కానీ షేర్ చేస్తుందంటే మీ సిస్టమ్ నేను కంట్రోల్ తీసుకొని నేను యాక్సెస్ చేసి చూపిస్తాను. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి. సో రేపు సెషన్లో మళ్ళీ ఇదే టైం కలుగుతాం. ఓకే.
Thank you.